Hi there. The other day I found a book at my library that I thought was rather unusual. It's a subject matter that we don't often see. In fact, I don't think I've ever seen in a children's book, let alone any book, actually. But it's about something that a little girl experienced that was maybe a little bit scary for her. Maybe you've had something scary that happened in your life. And she lived through it, learned to accept it, and she moved on. So let's get started. The book is called Pepper and Me by Beatrice, Alemagna, and it was written in 2024. Now, this is also illustrated and written by the same person. And she's written lots of books, and I don't think I've read any of them. And so this is my introduction to this author and illustrator. I just love this color. You'll see this color a lot. Nice orange color. So let's find out what was scary, and let's also find out who Pepper is. There's a little girl walking along the street. Yesterday I fell. I tripped on a cobblestone and oof, face down, belly on the ground. When I stood up, my knee was scraped. It burned a lot. And I cried like a baby. Ouch, that would hurt, wouldn't it? I know I've done that. Fallen, hurt myself, elbows, knees, everything. It was like a scary movie with you know what dripping down my leg. I had never seen so much before. Blood. I said the word, and that really scares us kids. Look at her looking at that. My dad told me, soon you'll have a beautiful scab. I got a scab, and it wasn't beautiful. Little by little, the blood baked onto my knee. It looked like a big hamburger, except I couldn't eat it. There's the dad helping her clean it up. I asked my mom when the scab would go away. She said in a few days. So I waited a few days, but nothing. The scab didn't move. There's the mom and the little girl. We don't actually find out the name of this little girl, I'll tell you that. We kept staring at each other, that scab and me. I worried as it began to look more and more scary. She's staring at it. Hideous scab. I was afraid it would stay forever. She's so afraid. My mom rubbed cream on it. It's pretty humongous, but it'll fall off. So the scab would fall off like I fell down? The days came and went, but the scab stayed. There's her mom rubbing something on it. Trying to make it feel better, maybe heal faster. I knew other children had lots of scabs in strange places, but mine was the worst in the whole world. There's one on a hand, there's one on a foot. Where's this one? Also on a knee or near it. This one on another foot. How's this one on the side of the leg? An elbow. A tummy. A nose. And an ear. Yeah, these places a scabs get because they've fallen or something's fallen on you or who knows what, right? Since it followed me everywhere, I named it Pepper. We got the name Pepper, after the puppy I never managed to get. Then one day, when I was being calm, trying to not think about her, Pepper made a noise. I sat right up and lent an ear. What is going on? Look at that. You want me to go away, don't you? Said Pepper. Yes, please. Sorry, but you'll have to wait. By the way, what kind of silly name did you give me? You could have called me Crystal or Jazzy. A super nice, cute name. I'll call you whatever I want, if you'll just go away, I promised her. But she didn't. She even came with me to my grandparents' house. There's Pepper, the face. Who knew that scabs talked? My grandparents lived out in the country. When they saw us, Grandma and Grandpa barely even noticed Pepper. I guess they have seen too many scabs in their long, long lives. There's Grandma's house. Looks like a nice little place out in the country. I started getting used to Pepper, the way she pulled my skin when I walked. But then she began changing. She became smaller and softer. Sometimes it seemed like she was smiling at me. Maybe she didn't really hate me. She was just doing what scabs do. She's up in a tree fishing and just lying on the ground. Always looking at this scab, but it is getting smaller. Some days were long and boring. I felt lonely, and without even meaning to, I began telling Pepper stories. Like about the day I got lost in the forest, about my fear of spiders, about my dream to visit Japan, and also to have a dog of my own. Also, it looks like she is baking with Grandma. Maybe she's making muffins. Who doesn't like muffins? Then one morning, I woke up and Pepper was gone. Where did she go? I got up and looked underneath the bed. She told me she wouldn't leave, but then she did. And she didn't even say a word. Nobody should ever leave without saying a word, like goodbye or see you later. There she is, wondering where that little Pepper was, up in her bedroom. Later, I found her tucked into the folds of my sheet. How small and sweet she looked now. She seemed just as sad as I was. Can you see her? Right there, the little scab fell off. You see, I'm finally going, she told me. Yes, you finally are, I said, sniffing. You'll be much happier without me, kid. Yes, I will be. I picked her up and gently dropped her among the poppies. Look at the conversation they're having. And there she is, dropped amongst the poppies. It's a good place to put a scab if you can find it. Time passed. Instead of Pepper, now I have a spot with smooth, shiny skin on my knee. A mark that reminds me of the day I fell flat on my face and cried like a baby. That's what happens after you have a scab sometimes. It leaves a little scar and it's kind of shiny. It reminds me of the smell of certain days I spent with my grandparents, and also of a life without a dog. Look at her out there. Grandma's reading the newspaper. What is she doing? Daydreaming. And there's chickens on the farm out in the country, aren't there? By the way, I finally got one. She is a girl. Her name is Jazzy. A super nice, cute name. What's Jazzy? Jazzy is the puppy. Is she ever happy to have a puppy? Sometimes I wonder where Pepper is now. Wherever she is, I hope she is happy. There she is in school, looking out the window, thinking about Pepper, her scab, and running out in the country with her dog. So have you ever had a fall and then a scab on your elbow, your knee, your elbow, your ear, your nose, your knee, your foot? Well, I certainly have had lots of them in my long life, and they've gone away. and I don't remember calling mine anything, but you could do that if you want to get personal and up close with your scab. Anyway, that book is called Pepper and Me. I found it at my library, and maybe you could find it at your library too, or in your bookstore. And as I mentioned, it was published in 2024, so just this year, so it's pretty new. And this author has had lots of books. I am now going to look for many of them because I love the illustrations too. So I hope you enjoyed that, and we'll see you another time. Bye for now.